Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends, Railside Tales, Episode 3, Triple Header. Gordon is a big blue engine. He has a great big boiler and the number 4 on his tender. Gordon's favorite job is to pull the Express. The Express was the longest and heaviest passenger train on the island. Gordon felt proud to be a really strong engine to pull it. One day, Gordon was resting in the siding after pulling the Express, but he wasn't feeling well. "I get so out of breath," he groaned, "but no one cares. They just tell me to have a rest. It's disgraceful." Just then, Thomas puffed over to him. Get to Topham Hatt to get you tanks and a bunker," he puffed cheekily. "That will make you better. We tank engines never get out of breath, you know." And he puffed away. This made Gordon cross, but he didn't have any energy to say anything. The men worked hard on Gordon to make him better, but they couldn't. Sir Topham Hatt came to see him. "You need new tubes, Gordon," he said. "You will have to go to the steamworks to have them fitted." While Gordon was being repaired, Sir Topham Hatt chose Henry to pull the Express. Henry was delighted. He loved having a chance to go flying down the line. But one day, before Gordon was due back from being repaired, Henry was ill too. Sir Topham Hatt spoke to the inspector. "The only spare engine we have is Thomas," said the inspector, "but he can't pull the train alone." Sir Topham Hatt pondered. "Could Percy help?" The inspector shook his head. "The two of them with Duck might do the trick," he said. And so it was arranged. The 3 tank engines were coupled up together to the Express. Thomas nearest the train, Duck in the middle, and Percy in the front. As soon as the guard's whistle blew, they puffed off. Come on, puffed Percy. We're doing it, puffed Duck. Pull harder, puffed Thomas to the others. Soon they were out on the main line. The 3 tank engines couldn't go as fast as Gordon or Henry, but the passengers didn't mind. They knew that Thomas, Duck, and Percy were doing their best. Expresses were not like branch line trains. They don't stop at every station, and so the engines never got the chance to get their breath back. Soon they began to feel tired, but soon ahead of them stood Gordon's Hill. They charged at it, and soon they were over the top. "Phew," sighed Thomas. "I'm glad we didn't stick there. Gordon would never let us hear the end of it." But Thomas had spoken too soon. The hill had proven too much for Percy. His driver blew the whistle, and the cavalcade puffed to a halt. "We can't take you off, Percy," said his driver. "Do the best to keep your brakes off. It's not far now till the work station." This made things harder for the other two. They used every ounce of strength and steam to keep moving. "Nearly there, panted Duck. We can do it! We can do it! Gasped Thomas. Poor Percy had no steam left to say anything. Soon they could see the workstation ahead. They were just a few yards closer when Duck found he could go no further. Thomas could not pull the heavy coaches and push Duck and Percy on his own, and the cavalcade came to a standstill, a few yards short of the station. And there, standing on the work siding, stood Gordon, aghast at what he saw. Sir Topham Hatt had been on the train. He came to see the engines. You all did your best to get this far, he said. So you shall all have a nice rest, and when you get back to the yard, you will all have a fresh new coat of paint. Thomas and his friends moved off, and a diesel came to take the express on. As Duck and Percy went into the steamworks to be checked over after pulling the express, Thomas puffed over to Gordon. Hello, Gordon. I just want to say I'm sorry about tank engines never getting tired, or whatever I said. We were getting tired after pulling your express. It is the longest and heaviest passenger train on the island, after all. Gordon smiled. Not all engines can get tired after pulling heavy trains, Thomas. But that's what makes us really useful. Trains must get through, you know, whatever engine who has to pull it. Thomas smiled. I'll see you tomorrow, Gordon. I hope you'll feel all better. And Thomas smiled all the way back to Tidmouth's shed.